Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving straight into the hidden biochemical reason behind your daily aches, your poor sleep, and that lingering chronic inflammation. If you're a focused learner looking to understand exactly how your body operates under the hood, well, you're in the right place. We are going to unpack a fascinating, missing link in our modern nutrition that might just be the silver bullet for fixing those everyday health struggles. Look, let's validate a very real problem right out of the gate. If you're waking up with stiff joints and aching back, or you find yourself staring blankly at the ceiling at 3 a.m., unable to get back to sleep, you probably think it's just the normal, inevitable process of getting older. But what if it's not? What if your body is simply crying out for one missing, highly specific, essential nutrient? Section 1, the Everyday Epidemic. Let's explore a massive nutritional oversight that affects almost all of us. Enter Dr. Joel Brind. He's a medical research biochemist with an absolutely astonishing 54 years of experience under his belt, including 34 years teaching human biology and endocrinology. After decades of digging into the research, he discovered that the one crucial nutrient nearly every single one of us is desperately lacking is a simple amino acid called glycine. Moving on to Section 2, the modern diet trap. So where exactly did all this glycine go? Why are we suddenly so deficient? Dr. Brind has this great quote, "Your grandma threw it in the soup, not the trash." And honestly, that hits the nail on the head. Our ancestors naturally ate diets packed with glycine because they consumed the whole animal. We're talking connective tissues, cartilage, marrow, and bones. Today, we literally toss those essential parts in the garbage, favoring only the pristine, clean cuts of muscle meat. And that brings us to the muscle-meat paradox. We love our chicken breasts, our steaks, and our ground beef, right? Well, those meats are super high in an amino acid called methionine. Methionine is essential for sure, but clearing the excess from our system actually drains our natural glycine reserves. Get this, your liver requires 2 whole glycine molecules just to process one excess methionine molecule. It's a huge drain on your system. So because of this dietary trap, the average person is walking around with an 8-gram daily deficit of glycine. 8 grams. That is massive for a daily nutrient. And unlike some vitamins that happily hang out in your fat cells for months, glycine is a bulk nutrient with a half-life measured in just hours. Your body burns right through it, which means you have to replenish this massive deficit every single day. Section 3, the big inflammation myth. This is where we have to unlearn a bit of what we've been taught about injury. Inflammation is not a natural response to injury. Now that totally shatters a major medical myth we've all accepted, doesn't it? We're always told inflammation is just the body's normal response to getting hurt. But Dr. Brind argues that while inflammation is definitely meant to fight infections, it does absolutely no good for physical injuries, like a sprained ankle or a sunburn. He actually proved it on himself. After supplementing with heavy doses of glycine, he took a nasty 4-foot fall directly onto his tailbone. To his absolute shock, he woke up with 0 lasting pain or inflammation the next day. No way, right? Here's what's actually happening on a cellular level. Glycine acts like a physiological regulator for your immune cells, specifically your macrophages. When your body has enough glycine, it literally keeps a specific cellular pathway, the glycine-gated chloride channel, wide open. This shuts off the switch that would otherwise lock these cells into an unnecessary, painful inflammatory state known as M1 mode. But without enough glycine, that switch breaks, and your body just stays perpetually inflamed. If we apply Occam's razor here, the idea that the simplest solution is usually the right one, we stumble onto a pretty profound truth. Chronic disease doesn't always require some highly complex, crazy expensive drug. Sometimes it literally just needs the fundamental missing building block. Glycine quietly keeps the switch turned off. It halts those cytokine storms naturally, and it lets your body heal without all the unnecessary pain. Section 4. 3 life-changing benefits. Let's look at how closing this gap can totally transform your day-to-day health. If you've ever wondered why magnesium glycinate is so hyped up for helping people sleep like a baby, well, 86% is your magic number. Those giant horse pills you're taking, they are actually 86% glycine by weight. Most of the benefit you're feeling at night isn't actually coming from the magnesium at all. It's the massive dose of glycine attached to it. Mechanically, here is exactly how it pulls this off. Glycine acts as a coactivator for specific sleep-regulating receptors in your brain, called NMDA receptors. That activation signals the blood vessels in your skin to open up, which naturally drops your core body temperature. After that, it induces atonia, which is just a fancy word for the physical relaxation of your muscles. It literally cools you down, makes your muscles go completely slack, and plunges you straight into deep, restorative, non-REM sleep. But it's not just about sleep. Look at what it does for blood sugar. A fascinating clinical trial down in Mexico showed that giving type 2 diabetics 15 grams of glycine a day plummeted their HbA1c levels from a dangerous 8.3 down to a near normal 6.9 in just 3 months. And the absolute craziest part, they achieved this massive metabolic improvement without losing a single pound of body weight. The glycine simply calmed the underlying inflammation that was driving their insulin resistance in the first place. Finally, we have to talk about severe pain. Glycine literally stops the secretion of TNF-alpha, which is a major inflammatory protein right at the very top of the inflammation cascade. It acts just like those highly expensive biologic drugs, but it does it entirely naturally. Dr. Bryn shared a mind-blowing testimonial of a patient who suffered from debilitating hemiplegic migraines, where half her face would literally paralyze, along with severe arthritis. After starting daily glycine, she went 4 entire months without a single serious migraine, and her joint pain just vanished. Section 5. Actionable solutions. Now that we know the why, let's talk about the how. First off, if you're suddenly worried about safety or taking too much, check out this wild medical fact. During a specific urological surgery known as a TURP, patients routinely absorb so much fluid that their blood glycine levels spike to 100 times the normal limit. And yet, they survive with zero lasting harm. The estimated lethal dose of glycine for an average adult is over 12 ounces of pure powder in a single sitting. You would literally have to eat it with a shovel. It is virtually impossible to overdose on this harmless, sweet-tasting nutrient. So, how do we actually fix this 8 to 10 gram daily deficit? You've got some incredibly simple choices here. You can totally embrace nose-to-tail eating and drink about a quart of rich bone broth every single day. You could mix unflavored gelatin packets into your drinks, or you can take the absurdly simple and cheap route, just dissolve a pure glycine powder supplement right into your morning coffee or tea. As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a question to really chew on. If Occam's razor holds true, and the simplest answer is indeed the right one, what could safely adding 10 grams of this missing fundamental building block every day do for your sleep, your joints, and your overall life? Thanks for learning with us today, and we'll see you in the next explainer.